Hi. I just wrote a frantic email, but we're good. It said to shut everything down. Hi. So if you looked, I sent you all an email, most of you, real quick, that I didn't have internet connection, but now it's back up. Yay. And let me just close my door here. Good morning. Happy Friday. We'll start seated. So if you just want to find your comfortable seat with blocks and a strap relatively close. Okay, and just starting to connect right away to our breath. So you could go ahead and place a hand on the chest and the belly if that felt good, or keep the hands on the lap, crossed, however you feel most comfortable. You can soften the eyes and just start to allow your soundscape to fill up what's going on around you. So we're listening and connecting with those sounds, whether they're pleasing, like I have some birds chirping in the background, or distracting, like the dogs who want to get in the room. And just allowing those sounds to fill up the space. And we'll just transition into different sensory awarenesses. I think that's a word. Starting with the sound. So we're listening intently, but not necessarily needing to attribute good or bad to the sounds, just allowing them to be within our state of awareness. So you start to notice the sound of your own breath. And then we'll shift, transition to the weight of the body. To sensations on the skin, whether they be warm or cool, or right in the middle. Taking this time to take account of how your body is feeling this morning. If your body woke up with lots of energy or feeling a little sluggish, if there's any discomfort or places that feel a little sticky or tight. Maybe feeling full or hungry or right in the middle. Taking an account of how your body is doing right now. If the eyes are closed, the weight of the eyelids on the eyeballs. And again, the sensation now of breath traveling in and out of the body. Then we'll take account of how you're feeling emotionally. So maybe you woke up in a light-hearted spirit. Maybe you're struggling a little bit. Or there's something that you're looking forward to or not looking forward to. So what is your mental state this morning? Mental and emotional. You feel clear or foggy? And so we're just going to kind of slide in a little mantra here. One that I absolutely adore from Ram Dass, which is the mantra of I am loving awareness. And so this concept of being loving awareness is that we're aware of the good, the medium, the bad equally, and just using that awareness and having a allowance, a lovingness for all of the sensations in the body, the connection to the sounds around us, just allowing ourselves to be lovingly aware of frustrations, knowing that they'll pass, with both the light and the dark. I am loving awareness. And we'll inhale and exhale together. Nice deep breath through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. I am loving awareness. And we'll start moving through the body here. Just go ahead and place the right hand down next to you and sweep the left arm up and over. Letting that extension through the side waist, a little compression on the right side, elongation through the left side. Press off, switch sides. As we go through all of these motions, still staying with that mantra, I am loving awareness. So whether you're feeling a little bit tight or fluid, trying to move off to the side, any judgment. You're going to press back up to center, and this time a soft twist. You can look back and forth, maybe draw some circles with the nose if the neck is feeling tight. Or little U shapes. Go ahead and switch, twisting in the second direction. And back to center. We'll take our right leg out. So we'll start with the Dana Shirshasana here. You could bring a block underneath the thigh if you prefer, as we turn and pour over that leg. We'll bring the arms nice and wide, so we're getting a stretch rather than just collapsing. Sometimes that feels good, but this morning we're gonna try and draw the chest forward. And allow the tailbone to drop back down so that we're reaching through the crown of the head. Hopefully not just getting a little stretch to the back side of the leg, but also to the left side waist. You can walk yourself back up and go ahead and just switch sides. Using the block, or maybe not wanting to use the block on this side. We'll turn, crawl forward, tenting the fingertips or placing the hands down so you're getting that drawing of the chest. Flattening as much as you can the low back. We're letting the weight of the body coming forward to assist in opening up the hamstring here. Walk yourself back up. So go ahead and right away we'll take our strap and we're going to strap the block in front of the feet. So as you extend out through the legs, you can have a little bend to the knees. We take our strap that block. We'll put the strap on either side so that once we get our sits bones kind of pressing down, we can press out into the block, creating a nice tall spine. And you may want to stay right here or slowly start to crawl forward. So especially if the backs of your legs are rather tight, mine are definitely tight today. So I'm just going to go to about here. Rather than trying to press yourself into something, just stick with about 50% or 70% sensation here. And we'll stay for another 5 breaths. So you can nice deep inhale, exhale. Notice any tension in the face, the jaw. Let the jaw be heavy. Inhaling. Exhale. Maybe coming forward a little bit more, but again, staying within that 50 to 70% sensation. 3 more breaths. One more inhale and exhale. And then we'll slide our hands back up the strap. And from here, just bring the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. We're going to move into another forward fold. And you can take the time to give yourself a little foot massage if you'd like. Maybe tent the fingertips and again, try and draw the chest forward, just depending on how the outer hips and the groin are feeling this morning. Five more breaths. And back to our mantra. I am loving awareness. Two more inhales and exhales. Tempting to stay with the flat back so your tailbone is reaching back. Last one here. And then we'll press the ground away as you walk the hands up. Assist the knees closed. We're going to slide the hands to the backs of the thighs and then just curl back and shift your weight left and right. We're maybe getting a little low back release. Okay, from here, we're going to travel to all fours. So if you want to rock off to the side, however you'd like to get there. And if you wanted to, you can fold up a blanket for the knees and just place the blocks towards the top of the mat. We're going to move into some lunges. And starting with our all fours, just look behind you to see that the heels are not splayed out or all the way together, that they're mostly traveling right behind the back of the knee. And then we're going to curl the toes under and inhale, lift the sits bones and lift the chest. So we'll just stay here for a moment in our cow pose. Trying to warm up the feet, keep the toes curled under and press back. lift the sits bones, and stay for another 2 breaths. Filling up the front side of the body, so hopefully feeling a stretch along the abdomen. And then we'll do the same thing in our cat pose, but we'll flip the feet over, push into the tops of the feet, start with the tailbone as you curl under, pressing the ground away, and let the head be heavy. Deeply breathing into the space between the shoulder blades. Drawing the navel in and up. Two more breaths. And then we'll move through our regular cat-cow. Curl the toes under. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, flip the feet over and press away. Waving through the spine, trying to move through each and every vertebrae. Leading with the tailbone. One or two more rounds, depending on how quickly or slowly you're going. And then we'll all end up with a flat back and the tops of the feet pressing into the ground. Go ahead and step the right foot back and shift your weight back and forth. We'll continue to press into the top of the left foot to lift the right leg up. Point the toe, heel to the hip, big circles with the knee in one direction. And then switch directions. And then we'll extend back out through that right leg, heel to the hip, flex the foot, try and kick yourself in the bottom a couple of times. And then we'll drive that right knee forward, maybe using the block as you step the right foot forward, lunging. And once we're up, curl the tailbone under and come all the way up. I'm just gonna scoot this back a little bit. Almost worked. So from here, we're going to slide the right hand down, press the outside of the arm into the inside of the leg, and sweep the left arm up and over. So we're back to that opening in the side waist. And just move this again. Great. So we have that pressure of the outside of the arm into the inside of the leg, getting more space along the left side waist. And then as you lift the navel, curl forward, you're going to plant the left hand and peel the right arm up, twist. And of course, you could take that right hand to the low back. And we'll fold forward, plant the hands, and bring the right knee back underneath the right hip. Second side, couple of cat-cows as we switch. After your last one, again, we'll all arrive flat back, toes pressing into the ground, step the left foot back, shift your weight back and forth. Pushing into the top of the right foot, lift the left leg, point the toe, heel to the hip, big circles. Continue to press the ground away so that the whole torso is stable as you just rotate through the hip. That might mean that you want to take the hands wider, switch directions with the knee. And then we'll press that left foot back, heel to the hip, try and kick yourself in the bottom a couple of times. And then step the left foot forward and through. Heel toeing, giving your low back much space as you need to come up. Slide the left hand to the inside, sweep the right arm up. Push, push, push away. So if I were to release through my left thigh, my leg would push off to the side, or if I was to release through the arm, it would come forward. So we want to have that lock and pressure. Hand into the leg, leg into the hand. And then on your next exhale, fold forward, plant the right hand and twist. And look down and up, or just tuck the chin, whatever feels best for the neck. And then same with that top arm, you could press away. One more breath here, still engaging in that front leg. And then we'll bring the left hand to meet the right, left knee underneath the left hip. And from here now, big toes come to touch as you press yourself back to a child's pose. Feel free to wiggle and shift your weight left and right. Feel free to walk the fingertips off to one side and then the other. Back to center. And walk the hands back. So we're going to twist in the torso before we add into our lunge. You can bring the legs around. And we'll start with pinwheel. Right shin forward, left shin back. So we're in this Z formation or pinwheel. And we'll start to twist through the torso, left hand to the hip, rock back and forth. So we'll do maybe 5 to 7 of these rocks. And then go ahead and pin down the back hip so that the hips are square. And we'll just twist in the torso. So turn the shoulders towards the knee. And you can place the hand on the knee as you twist a little bit deeper. So initially what's going to want to happen is this back hip is going to want to engage and the knee is going to want to naturally travel up. See if you can soften the inner thigh and just start to work through the upper body. On our inhales, we're trying to grow a little bit taller, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. So there's a lot going on in the low half of the body to keep it anchored down to the ground so we can start to move through the chest. Wherever you are, you're going to firmly place the back hand down, sweep the top arm up, and move back into this opening of the sideways. There's a little bend in the back elbow. And then work your way back to center. So instead of going directly to the other side, we're going to take this back leg, and you might want to assist it around as we heel toe the back leg around, snuggling it in for our Lord of the Fishes twist. Hug the top knee into the chest, and now we're twisting the other direction. I like to take my thumb and press it down into the hip crease, and you can see that when I do that, the hips start to drop down. I lose a little bit of the twist, but that's okay. So you may just be hugging the knee into the chest here, or you may start to twist a little bit more deeply. Again, just going as far as your neck will allow. And we're softening down, anchoring the right leg down, pressing into the left foot. So you should feel a little hip opener as well. Staying for about 4 more breaths. So each inhale, thinking about connecting down to the ground, and exhale, lifting and twisting. 2 more inhales and exhales. And then go ahead and unwind. We'll unlace the legs and bring them out in front and just wiggle and shake before we switch sides. Pinwheel on your second side. And we're rocking through the hip. Like I said, about 5 to 7 of these rocks. If you need a couple more, just depending on what's going on with your hips this morning, feel free to do that. And then rocking back, turn the chest towards the knee. And then we'll continue to walk the front hand around, maybe just placing it on the knee. Softening that back hip down. Moving into your version of the twist in the chest on this side. Again, there's a little bit of mind work, right? Mental alacrity that has to come with mentally thinking, I need to let this back hip soften. Not letting the glute fire. Anchoring the low half of the body down just to twist the upper portion of the body. And in another breath or so, we'll plant your back hand. And of course, if you have the block and that feels more accessible, feel free. Nice soft bend in the elbow and pour back. And become aware if the back hip wanted to come up, then just unwind a little bit. Maybe don't come back as far. One or two more breaths. In that space along the side waist, maybe even feeling it a little bit in the groin or a little compression right in your psoas here, or a little stretch. And we'll press ourselves back up. Here's where we either lift or assist the back leg around, stepping it over. And if that is far for you, then unwind a little bit. If you found it to be too challenging on the first side, just place the foot in front and find your twist with less compression in the hip. Or the foot's all the way around. I'm taking my thumb, pressing the hip crease down, hugging the front knee into the chest, still active through the front foot and the back foot, and twist. I find that this is one of those twists where a lot of us get more hunched in the back. If you're finding that you're hunching to get deeper into the twist, like I said, just come out of it. Just unwind a little bit. And softening those inner thighs. You're finding a little bit more freedom in your sacrum. And untwist yourself, unlace the legs. Take them out in front and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So those can be a little compressive on the knees. Just make sure that you're wiggling through the legs. Again, maybe point and flex the feet, pedal the feet. And then we're gonna add those twists into our lunge series. So either finding all fours, or if you're like me and want a little bit more stretch, then a downward facing dog. Totally up to you. I say pointedly. Grip with the fingertips, press back. If you're on your all fours, just remember you're reaching through the crown of the head, and we're gonna keep the toes curled under wherever you are. And you might want to travel between the two or stretch one foot back and then the other. So make this yours for right now. Again, up to you, perhaps if you're on your knees, you'll just want to step the right foot back, forward and through. If you're in your downward facing dog, maybe just do the same thing from downward facing dog, but we'll all end up with our right foot forward, back toes curled under, and inhaling up to a low lunge. Want to have that sensation of the front hips stretching forward. Then we're going to drop the hands to heart center. Press the thumbs to the heart center and lift up. Bend halfway forward and totally up to you. You might just want to take the back of the hand and peel open, or come forward, hook the thumb and twist. So we're in a prayer twist. Reaching through the crown of the head, pressing the hands into one another, or we're holding onto the thigh and reaching back. Lift the navel, fold forward, up to you. Either both knees under, and again, downward facing dog, or all fours. One more inhale and exhale, whether you're on knees or in your downward facing dog. And up to you, either drop down onto the knees and step the left foot forward, or from downward facing dog, gripping with the fingertips, step the left foot forward and the right knee down. Low lunge. Maybe take the hands to the hips and tuck the tailbone back and forth a couple of times until you have the square hips. Knee over the ankle. And then drop the hands down to heart center. Lift the chest. Hinge at the waist, come forward slightly. Neither take the opposite hand and press back or hook the elbow. And it might be different on this side. It feels like a little bit too much, or you want to go deeper. Lifting the navel, twisting through the torso again, maybe looking down and up. So you're using that same cultivation of pressing the arm into the leg and the leg into the arm that we did when we were coming off to the left and right, except now it's the outside of the leg. Notice if you're gripping in the toes, you'll be able to lift all 5 toes and settle them back down. Unwinding yourself in either downward facing dog or all fours. 5 breaths. Drop back down onto the knees. And we'll flip the feet over and reach the hips back, crawl the fingertips forward. So giving the back a little bit of a respite here rather than the wide knees. See how close you can bring the thighs towards one another. And you may want blocks or trying to keep contact, pressure of the thigh onto the chest. And let the head hang. Push the ground away, curl yourself up, and swing the legs around. We'll slide the hips towards the heels and lie down onto your back. Once you're down, feel free to wiggle and shake. Knees off to the left and to the right. And having our strap relatively close, and take the hands to the hips, tuck the tailbone under so you can feel the whole low back on the floor, and just hug the right knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and press away. You can point and flex the foot or draw circles. And then we're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee for figure four. We're going to move into a figure four twist here. Take the right hand to the inner right thigh, press away. And you can take the arms out to a T shape if you like, or cactus as you drop down onto the left hip. So we're in another variation of this torso twist, another variation of that cat pulling tail, or Lord of the Fishes. Feel free to take the right arm above the head or out to the side. If the right shoulder is peeling up quite a bit, then stay a little bit with more weight to the left. Naturally allow the torso to twist open. You could even encourage it with a little brushing across the rib cage. And then we'll keep the legs as they are with that right ankle touching the left thigh, and just shift your weight off to the right. So we're twisting in the opposite direction. Roll back to center, unlace the legs, and hug both knees into the chest. We'll turn the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. And then press the soles of the feet together and reach the arms above the head. So the heels don't have to be all the way down. Actually, you want more of a diamond shape. As we take a nice big inhale, stretch the arms above the head, and as you exhale, curl up and drive the arms between the gate of the legs. Inhale down. Exhale up. Go at your own pace, so maybe you just want to do 5 or 10, or you really want to get a little bit more core action going, so you come up and down a little bit more quickly. But keep pressing the feet towards one another so the inner thighs light up. Two more, at least. And then hug the knees back together. We'll keep the left knee into the chest and plant the right foot. Switch the interlace, press the thigh away. A nice big stretch along the back side of the leg. Roll through the ankle if you'd like to. And then crossing the left ankle over the right knee, figure four. We're going to be here for a minute. Make sure that the low back feels like it's in contact with the floor. And when we twist, it's like we've drawn a line from the belly button down. Rock the knees off towards the right. You're taking a hand and brushing the chest open. Trying the twist here. One more breath and then just switch sides. Legs stay in that same arrangement. Just shift your weight to the left. Both knees off to the left. Rolling back to center. Unlace the legs, hug both knees into the chest, and we'll do a second round of the soles of the feet together, knees apart, this core work. Big inhale and exhale. So you could look at the tips of the toes, but we want to keep the neck straight rather than tucking the chin to the chest. And so we're really just using the core to lift up and down. Two more. And after this last one, assist the knees together, plant the feet, maybe heel toe the feet wide, and we'll swish the knees. For planting the feet and rolling through a couple of bridges. Tuck the tailbone, arms on either side of the side waist. Push into the floor with the feet as you inhale, lift. Sweep the arms up and exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. And this sensation through the spine should be very similar to cat-cow, so that you can really try and feel each one of those vertebrae as they lift and descend. Two more. Last one. And let the hips come down, hug the knees back into the chest, or take the feet wide and let the knees come to touch. We're going to do a second round, making it a little bit more difficult. So plant the feet, and it'll be up to you. You may want to stay with both feet, or we're going to press that right leg out at a 45-degree angle. You can look so it's not lifted, it's right in a line. The thighs should be about parallel. And we'll press the left foot into the ground and lift the hips. So you could tap and lift this right leg, or stay with the extension. Just remember, once we start to put weight on the upper back and the shoulders, you don't want to look around too much. Two more. And then we'll let both legs come to the ground, curl, extend the legs for a moment, or heel toe and knees together. Second side. Back to your bridge. Lift. Maybe just that left leg out. So we're actively rolling the inner thighs together for balance and stability. Pressing the ground away with both the heel, big toe ball mound, and pinky toe ball mound. Keep lifting. Three more. Plant the feet, roll down. Again, either slide the legs out or whatever feels most restorative for you. And then we'll draw the heels towards the hips. And we'll move into a little upper back opening. We'll take our blocks. Place one block for the head and one block for the spine, heart bench. If you're unsure about where to put the lower block, just take your hands in about where the low part of your bra line is where the lowest part of the first block should end up. Release the head back once you're there. If that feels like it's too high, of course, rotate so that the block is lower. You can move the flesh away from the sits bones. Just allow the torso to soften. Allow the jaw to be soft, the throat. And you can play with the breath here, taking some time to feel like you're pressing the breath forward and up. So you'd be feeling the front side of the body. A couple of breaths like that. And then play with pressing the breath into the back side of the body. Like you're trying to push the blocks into the floor. And one might feel better than the other. We'll spend another 3 breaths with the support underneath the spine and the head. And then we're going to move into modified shoulder stand. And this might be an opportunity for you to take your mat to the wall if you prefer. But as you come out of this, drawing the elbows underneath the shoulders, palms down, tuck the chin to the chest as you press away and lift the torso. You can make your decision now about whether you'd like to stay in the middle of the room or if you'd like to shift and move to the wall. But we'll set up. And if you're moving to the wall, that's where you'll end up. We're about to the close of class. So you could, of course, just press the feet up towards the sky. Or take a block at the medium height or low height. Or stack the blocks if you wanted a little bit more. Just remember again that once you start putting pressure on the neck and the shoulders, to keep looking up. And wherever you are, staying for at least 5 breaths. Legs are up the wall, still sliding the heels. Maybe the legs are a little bit wider. Pressing the ceiling away. Two more breaths. And then you can bring the legs down, or if your legs are up the wall, just stay there. You've got the block underneath the low back. Push the ground away, just like you're moving into bridge. Just slide the block out. Roll down. And up to you, you could extend the legs, or if you prefer, come up to a seat. However you would prefer, lots of options, legs at the wall, reclined on the ground, or seated. To tap back into those sensations. Listening. Awareness of how you're feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally. Becoming aware of any shifts or changes that happened over the past almost hour. And perhaps starting to repeat again, I am loving awareness. We'll stay wherever you are for another 10 breaths. Don't worry about counting the breaths, I'll do the counting. I am loving awareness. Mantra of compassion for changes and shifts that happen in our bodies, and emotions happening around you and in you. And after this last inhale and exhale, of course, staying where you are as long as you would like. We're starting to move and transition. Maybe coming up to a seat. Wherever you are, take the hands together at heart center or on top of the heart space here, right in the middle of the chest. So I'll take a nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Taking a moment to thank yourself for carving out this time in your day for practice. Hopefully taking a little bit of this practice with you off into the rest of your day, your weekend. Thanks for joining. It's always wonderful to see all of you, even though you're this tiny little small box. Still nice to see you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and the next class will be next Tuesday. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks.